Hey, in this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of PulseWave Indicator and just show you how I use it to trade. I've used this indicator to make multiple five figures every single month consistently for the past few months since I've actually developed this indicator. And I use it day in and day out. I have no issues. Other people love it. Let's just jump right into it. So it is a basic support and resistance indicator. It gives you historical support and resistance levels, and it's essentially going to tell you where to look for trading. Right now, we're on the 12-hour, so a much higher time frame. But say I was looking for a long, for example, I would focus on these green lines. The green lines are going to be the supports, the red lines are going to be the resistances. Yes, support could flip resistance. So we could possibly be in a trade like this. It comes down, and this is where it ends up bottoming out, right? We can't predict that. We're looking for high probability trades and high probability setups. That is what we're looking for with this indicator, and that is the purpose of it. Ideally, we will come back down and retest or sweep these supports at some point, right? Ideally, we want to sweep these lows right here. And when that happens, we could be looking for an entry here, look for a DCA here, and maybe place our stop down here, right? And this could be an example of a trade where we enter in with our average right here, we shoot to go for all-time highs again, and we set this right here. This is a 2.7 to 1 risk-reward ratio, pretty good. And these are the type of trades I like to look for with PulseWave, right? So it's like we could keep ranging down here, just scribble all the way down here, right? That's not how charts move, obviously, but come down here, we look for a long, maybe it bounces, we look for that retest, right? This is where we long on the retest. Ideally, it goes back up. If it doesn't, we have a DCA down here, so we could kind of DCA a little bit at this level. And then we have our stop down here. So it could keep on tanking through here, right? And that is a possibility. However, with the much higher time frames like this, especially the 12-hour, and if we go to the daily, we could look for some confluence on there. Yeah, perfect. The daily has a level right here too. This gives me a lot of confidence for actually entering along with some sort of size. And this is what PulseWave is for. A lot of people, I find, when they're trading, they don't really understand where to enter, how they should enter, when they should size in, and this is supposed to help you understand how to do that. Right now, we're looking at the daily. We could see that we're on a resistance right here, and resistances could flip and become support. Support could flip resistance. That could totally happen, right? Especially when we're shooting for all-time highs and we're in price discovery, because we don't have any other resistance up here. We don't really have a support up here yet, so this is kind of all we're working off of. And a lot of people will overthink this and be like, hey, like the red lines, isn't that a support and resistance all the time? But no, it's not. We are ideally looking to long on the green lines, short on the red lines, or sell on the red lines. Very, very simple. A lot of people, from what I've seen, overcomplicate support and resistance trading, but I have tried to simplify. Everybody inside of our Discord group has had amazing feedback. I think only two people have really had issues out of the couple hundred that have joined. And I think that really just says, hey, this is a simple indicator and it's going to tell you where to look, right? And it's meant to really be used with multiple time frames. So we want to look at the daily, for example, right? We see the daily, we see this is a strong level. We could mark this level right here, really strong level on the daily. We like that a lot. We come down to the 12-hour, boom, we see this level is there as well. We come down to the 4-hour, nice. We have a similar level right here on the 4-hour. Don't want to draw. Similar level here on the 4-hour, right? Go to the 1-hour. Nothing is here on the 1-hour, but we're looking for the higher time frame stuff, right? And obviously, this might change over time. So as the levels change, as the levels develop more, especially on these lower time frames, these evolve a lot more. Plus, the way it works is it's only reading a few bars. So it's reading 300 bars back. If we load it up and go 500, it might show a level down here. See, it shows levels down here. And obviously, it's not giving that exact same level we saw on the higher time frames, but we could keep that in mind, and that is the whole point of this indicator, guys. We just want to look for areas of interest and then focus on setting limits, setting bids there, and really just trying to get really, really good Pico bottom entries or Pico top shorts, whatever it is, right? There's a lot of different ways to trade. This is just by far my favorite because I find it is very, very simple. Now, a lot of people will be like, hey, Mason, like, why don't I long right here on this level, right? This is a resistance level, and it could totally work. Like I mentioned, supports can flip resistance, resistance can flip support, but I'm looking for those trades where I feel confident, right? This isn't necessarily a support. This is a resistance. You could see that there's been resistance in this area historically, but it has never really flipped and became a support. We've blasted right through it. So I wouldn't really feel that confident longing this area just because it isn't necessarily a strong support. The green line is telling me, hey, this is a stronger support because we've tried to support it. Honestly, it's like we could go back, we could see here, decent amount of support, even though it's not really logged, but we have it here, a lot of support, a lot of touches. We have this one down here, which has even more support, right? So it's telling me, okay, this little zone right here is probably a good zone to look for some longs, look to scale into it, right? This is kind of where we'd be looking. And it's very, very simple, very straightforward. I've set this up so you don't really need to think about it. We have all the settings too, so you could customize the settings. You saw I came in here and I changed the max age for the bars to pop up a few other ones. By default, it should be all these settings right here. And we also have some other indicators that you could use to just give you more confirmations. You can see I turned them all on here, so it looks a bit more frazzled with what's happening. But I could break these down for you. You could see we have the show RSI divergences. So the RSI divergences, it's these little levels or these little arrows that show at the top. You could see it shows an arrow, this specific one, and we'll turn them all off just so you could see them a bit better. So show RSI divergence right there. We have the volume spikes, so it'll show volume spikes. I have this on personally. I like that a lot. Show engulfing patterns. I don't personally use this, but I know a lot of other traders who do use it. They like it a lot. Show doji. Show MACD crosses, show EMA crosses, and all these settings can be customized inside of here. So you could customize the MACD fast, slow, signal, all that stuff. Very, very simple. All the colors you could customize too. You could customize the style in here for all the special confirmations. But I have set this up to be a really straightforward indicator. That's all you really need at the end of the day, if I'm being honest. It's like you could use some other indicators. You could throw in some other key levels, right? I like throwing in like the spaceman key level so I can actually see things like this, right? Like Monday high, Monday low, previous week mid, just a bunch of information. I'm looking for information at the end of the day. Key levels, sweet. This shows me just daily high, weekly high, previous day high, but we're looking for support resistance zones. That's what we're looking for. Again, we're looking for the highest sort of probability trades. Yes, this could be a great trade, right? We could be on the 12-hour and this could be a great trade right here. And it just ends up just rocketing more and more and more. But I'm not looking for those trades. I'm looking for the really high probability ones where it comes into my zone. I can actually scale in and make some good money at the end of the day. That is really how I want to trade. I'm not trying to come in and do all these crazy scalps like a lot of the people are. You can do that with this indicator. If you come down to lower time frames, you could totally do it, right? This was an area where you could easily long because this is a historic sort of support, right? So you could see historically, this has been holding up decently well. You could have longed here. Looks like a retest that almost happened here. So you could have waited for that for some confirmation. And ideally, we keep cruising up, right? And just because we have these supports up here doesn't mean that it's a resistance, Yes, 9 out of 10 times, whenever the price touches one of these lines, there's going to be some sort of reaction. However, I wouldn't look to sell when we came up here. I'd be looking to take profit up here most likely because this is a resistance, right? We have a strong support down here, strong resistance up here. Very straightforward, just trying to take the price action from support to resistance and look for those high probability setups. The weaker the lower the time frame, the weaker the lines will be. So it's like you gotta have that risk in mind. Obviously, if you're trying to enter with size on lower time frames, it's easier to get burned, because the price could easily shift down. Some news could come out, could tank down really quickly and just liquidate somebody. This is a crypto example, but it works for everything. It literally works for any market. If we want to go over to this is S&P 500 right here, and you can see it shows levels. So it's like it'll show you levels to look at. Obviously, it's not as good with this one. We need to turn on after hours, which I always recommend. Why isn't it showing? This one won't show after hours, I guess. Here we go. This one should have it. But yeah, it just shows you more information, shows you more data. And that's really what we're looking for, right? We want to have the most amount of data as possible. We want to look for levels of support, look for levels of resistance, right? This is a support level from what it's saying. So you could possibly look to long this retest right here, enter into some calls or something, right? Scale into some more SPY and really just try to look for those ideas, right? This is on the 10 minutes, so it's a bit harder, but it works, plain and simple. I recommend giving it a try. It's like I've set this up, so it's pretty affordable. It's $50 right now, $49 total. And yeah, great indicator, great group, great community. and all the feedback has been really, really good. And hopefully, watching this video can give you some sort of value or insight into how you can improve your trading, and maybe it'll give you some insight into a new style of trading that you might not even thought about before. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.